You know, I used to love the Xbox Elite controller too. They are the most expensive controllers ever, but this is the fourth one I'm going through now. And now I'm having a really stupid issue because I want to remap my rear paddles, now not on a software level but on a firmware level, so that when I actually connect this controller to my Android phone, because I want to emulate some games, I want these paddles to have an individual input. And the way these controllers work in emulators, they recognize each individual paddles only from what they are assigned to in the firmware level, and that is controlled by using the Xbox Accessories app. Now, I do have this amazing tool, WSAD app, which is amazing for controlling the controller and remapping it, but on a software level. So if I change any of the mappings on the software, it will only be on this computer, on this laptop, within the software level. And as you can see, I got the back paddles mapped to F11, tab, escape, and back button. However, if I obviously disconnect this controller and connect it to my phone, these obviously won't stick. And from my research, now don't worry, I haven't just used ChatGPT for research, but it looks like the only one that can actually edit the controller at a firmware level to remap the back paddles is the Xbox Accessories app. However, we have a huge problem because I use a hard block for my Windows updates. So if I turn my Windows updates off, I cannot actually install Xbox Accessories app. Now I have these software and software updates disabled for a very good reason, because I have around 100 programs installed, and if I install the Windows update, it never actually fixes or does any good. It actually just usually breaks a program and just really ruins my day, to be honest, because I can't use my programs or I can't continue my work. So what exactly are my options? So I could use another PC, that is a solution. I could use a virtual machine, which I have been trying, and I'll walk you through so many different things that I had to go through, all these hoops that I needed to jump through to actually try to actually run the app. So what I thought I would try to do is actually log out of my main Windows account and log into my administrator account, because obviously I have the software block for Windows updates. And even if I log into another account, the software updates are still blocked. So I thought, you know what, just as a temporary measure, I disable my software updates. No, I enable them so that I could install the app. So I installed the app. However, as soon as I installed the app, I got new issues. So I made a little folder here of all the different Xbox Accessories installers, and this is the official one. And by official, I mean that is just an online installer. So basically, that doesn't actually contain the whole program. You have to run it, and then it will install it for you. However, that installs the latest version, which is this 2502. But as soon as you run it, I'll show you what happens. So I've got a virtual machine here running, and it will tell you this: Windows OS update required. So this my main operating system is not going to get an update, no way, because it's going to break a lot of my programs. I know it. So what I did was I run this on Windows 11 Pro virtual machine. And then if I go to updates, check for updates, you're up to date. I updated it like 10 times, and I even went through the trouble to make sure that this is updated with the latest Windows 11 features, which is TMP, Trusted Computing version 2.0, and Secure Boot enabled. So that is like some safety related features that Windows requires for it to update. So once you have that enabled, it should update to the latest version. So it is updated. And I even checked this out on my system information with my build numbers, and they were up to date. So I thought, you know what, let's try this. Let's try the downgrade, because after some research, they say people have been saying that you should downgrade to a previous Xbox accessory version. So I made some notes. So these versions want a newer version of Windows, even though I have updated it to the latest version. Now these two also install, and you can install these on Windows 11, and I'll show you how. I just have them basically moved here to the desktop, and this is, what is that kind of file? It's .appx bundle, so that just installs like an exe file, so that and luckily it actually is able to revert to a lower version. So upon installing the old version, it will just say it doesn't currently support your controller. So I just want to show you what it will say. So I just copied over this old version into my virtual machine, and let's reinstall it. New version already installed, but luckily, actually, surprise surprise, Microsoft actually allows you to downgrade, and that installs pretty quickly. And then we can just launch it. It won't launch from here. I tried it many times, so I have to launch it from my start menu and Xbox accessories, and it will instead, I'll show you what it says. It says another issue, not seeing your controller. Unfortunately, this app doesn't currently support your controller's new firmware on PC. What the hell is that? It's just unbelievable. One issue and then the other issue. We're working on updating the PC experience. Check back soon. It's just disgraceful. You know, you spend like 200 quid on the controller, and it's one issue after another, and all I want to do is just reassign some buttons. That's it. It's just unbelievable. However, I did find some really clever forums where people say you can actually downgrade the firmware. So if you press Win and R, you can open up the run, and then you paste this command: accessories, Xbox accessories, firmware update, legacy, downgrade, and then you press OK. Oh, wait a minute, this is new. It didn't let me do that before. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is actually something new, because with the latest Xbox accessories version, it wouldn't let me get to this stage. It would just say it won't work. However, if we use the old version of the Xbox accessories app and try that little URL that lets you downgrade the firmware, this is something else. So this might actually work, but I was going to continue with stating other things that I attempted to try but didn't work. So anyway, let's see what happens. So it says, before we start, reverting is not recommended unless you're having frequent connection issues with non-Xbox devices. So remember, I'm running on emulator virtual machine. Let's click on yes, revert firmware. You should only revert your firmware if your controller is having frequent problems. So you will no longer be prompted for control. Okay, yes, revert firmware. Okay, try it now. Okay, so it's not detecting my controller. So remember, we're using a virtual machine. However, I'm not going to have this connected through the USB hub. I've got a hub here, but I'm going to connect it directly to the laptop. And then, since I'm running for a virtual machine, I also have, what's it called? Not additions, devices, USB, Microsoft controller. So that bypasses my actual host, my host computer. You see, disconnected using it disconnected from the WSD and bypassed it, and now it's just going to go straight to the virtual machine. See, it's going to disconnect from the red. The red means it's connected to WSD. Is it connected yet? USB? No, not yet. It needs to, can't attach USB device. Why not? Come on. Disconnect and then reconnect. See, I'm very curious because this is actually progress. So I also disconnected my chat pad, but it needs to basically show up through here. If it doesn't, you need to install something first. Hold on. So let's back up a bit. So to actually get the virtual machine to connect to the controller, you need this extension pack 7024. Oh yeah, so other issues that I was having. So to actually get the virtual machine to recognize, well, this is another issue actually. The virtual machine issue is basically I was having a problem with different versions, and basically the one that actually does everything that I needed to, like share network files, share network connection, drag and drop, be able to run Windows 10, etc. Basically I needed 7024, and I also needed this version because of the Windows Update feature. Apparently it needed Trusted Computing 2.0 with secure boot, and the only way to do that was to install 7.0, 6 and below didn't have the trusted computing 2. But that kind of is irrelevant because the Windows update was already up to date actually, and it wasn't the Windows update that was the issue. It was the Xbox Accessories app itself. Anyway, so once we got that installed, 7024, we need the extension pack, which will enable to bypass our USB controller into the virtual machine. So I'm going to install that because I think it's not being currently picked up with the Xbox Accessory app. So what I did was I actually shut down the virtual machine. I shut down the emulation, the virtual machine itself, and my laptop as well. So I rebooted it because it wasn't picking up my controller. It needs basically the check mark to show that it's connected to the virtual machine. So now that it's connected, we can actually try run it and see. We're gonna have to put in the same URL, I believe. So here is our URL. Okay. Got it. No. So I rebooted my PC one more time, but I'm gonna have my controller disconnected by Bluetooth and USB. And once it is launched, I'm actually gonna exit WSAD before running my virtual machine. Close it. Also, as it's being picky, I'm not gonna have my USB hub connected either. No, my bad. I needed actually the USB hub connected because I got my hard drive connected to it and my Ethernet port. Actually, I think I might know why I'm having issues with connecting this. It's because actually I was trying to spoof the version of Windows because the Xbox Accessory app was clearly saying that my Windows is not up to date while it actually was. So what ChatGPT actually recommended was to spoof Windows number, and you can do that in registry edit. So if we just go here and type regedit, yes, I'm just going to show you what I quickly did. And you would need to go to this computer, HQ local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, and you would modify quite a few values. So we would modify first of all the product name and change it to Windows 11 Pro. I don't know why this says Windows 10 Pro while I install Windows 11. Release date to 2009, which was already that. Display version this, and current build to something else. And this as well. However, after rebooting, these values would reset anyway. That. So this wasn't working anyway. So, and I think changing these values, I think messed with me connecting to this device because I'm just researching why my USB is not connecting. However, I made a registry backup, so I'm just going to reload it here. Yes, and that should overwrite these values. So after I done the registry recovery and then rebooted the host machine, no, the virtual machine, and then I rebooted the laptop, but then I also done another thing. I also actually installed the USB driver manually, and this is on the host, not on the guest. The guest is the emulation, the virtual machine itself. So this is on the laptop itself. Program files, you go in here, Oracle, VirtualBox, drivers, USB filter, and you will see this USB VBox USB mon. Right click on it, install it, and then reboot the laptop. And then you would disconnect the controller. You would launch the virtual machine with the controller disconnected, and then you would close it. That would remove the USB device from the purge list or something like that. And then you would launch the emulator, what's it called, the virtual machine again. And then you would go to machine settings, USB. You would click on the plus, and then you would add this controller here, so that would mount it automatically. Apparently it will pass through the connection to the virtual machine, and then to connect it actually itself to you would do it through this method, which kind of seems like a two-part thing. Anyway, it's connected now, so let's continue trying what we were doing before, but I've got a feeling we're going to have this issue again. I don't know how we got lucky the first time. Yeah, new firmware. Okay, so that's what we had. Was that what we had the first time? Anyway, so Windows R, and it remembers the same URL, so press enter. OK. Do I need to click on OK? Got it. And then again. Make sure, yep, got it. Yeah, it's something different again. Basically, the first window I had, I didn't have it before, so this is what I'm having, this is what I've been having, this is what I was expecting to happen for this, the program, the firmware reversion, downgrade, to just close it on itself. But maybe it updated to the latest, I don't even remember which one I'm running, the old one or the new one. So let's try the old one. I'm gonna install the old one and run this again. It's already installed. So this is the old one. Let's reinstall it and launch it and see what happens. It should be pretty quick. Yeah, firmware on PC. So this is the old one, and it's not doing anything. The controller is connected by USB directly, not to USB hub, and it's solid white. Got it. No. Okay, so let's do it through the new version. See what happens with the new one. Update it. I don't know what caused the difference. Oh yeah, so this says Windows version is not updated, even though it is. Yeah, this just doesn't accept it. I don't get it. Yeah, it's just ignoring it completely. So yeah, it says Windows update required. And if we go into the PowerShell, I think it's the PowerShell accessories command. Yep, it closes automatically. So let's try downgrading it again. Reinstall to the old version. Could try older versions. Let's see if one of them gets through. I don't understand how the first time it was actually. It felt like the first time it was going to do it. So this is not launching again. Xbox accessories. Yep, this is the first original message. Not seeing your controller. Unfortunately, this app doesn't currently support your controller's firmware. Blah blah blah. Downgrade. Okay. No. I don't get it. So I'm just trying to install the Xbox accessories on my main laptop and not the virtual machine, and it was complaining that it was had a high version installed, and I'm doing this through the use of Windows PowerShell, and I ran it in administrator mode. So you see it was complaining that we had a higher version because I'm trying to install the first version. So let's try it again. Okay, here we go. I think it just installed it. So let's try it, see if we can run it. Hey, that's actually a good progress actually, because that means we just got it installed. Oh wait a minute, is this my laptop? Yeah, so that's cool. So I actually managed to install it on my Windows 10 without the use of the Microsoft Store. So let me just show you how I did that, because that is actually really good progress. So I've got my Xbox accessory downloads here. So the problem with them, I can't install them by double clicking on them. Windows 11, you can just double click on these files, but not in Windows 10. In Windows 10, you have these files, and then you need to strip all the empty characters. Like we've got Xbox space accessories, so we can't have any spaces. So first of all, I moved it to an F drive, and then I just have this. See, there's no spaces, so we have this. I copied and pasted the whole path, and I went to start, and then PowerShell. Type in PowerShell. Right click. Run as administrator, and then what did I type? I typed this: add dash app x package space path followed by the URL. and you saw before we got an error. That's because we already had Xbox accessories already installed. So now we got it uninstalled through just use through the usual add or remove feature. So that was uninstalled, and then I ran this again, and now we got the old version installed without Microsoft Store. So we've got it running here. However, since remember we've got this passing through to the virtual machine, so let's disconnect the virtual machine because now I don't need it, because that's a big progress. Okay, so I got it still connected to the laptop, and the Xbox accessories is running. Disconnect that, and I'm going to connect it to another USB port. Let's see what happens here. Unfortunately, it's that, yep, just as I thought. But now we can try running that firmware revision. Okay, so I just went to my start and pressed run, and the same command here. Just in case you guys don't see all of it, it is that Xbox accessories. That. So let's see if this will do any good. Nope, it just exits. It's a fucking joke, isn't it? I also noticed something very stupid. I actually had my controller connected to my Android phone with the Bluetooth, so I'm wondering if that actually had conflicts with the firmware revision, which it would make sense if it did have issues with that. So yeah, I'm just rebooting the laptop, seeing that if that makes any difference, and hopefully maybe the Xbox accessory app will let me actually roll back the firmware. No, still exits. I think I give up. This is just like too much. I wasted like 6 hours just trying to fucking... All I want to do is just reassign the back paddles. It's just a joke. What a fucking... I hate you, Microsoft. Like, and I'm stuck with Microsoft because I've got like 150 programs with Microsoft Windows. I can't switch to Linux or Mac OS. They don't even support the programs that I use. I think I'm done, guys, unless I come up with something. Yeah. Okay, so you know how I am. I don't really give up, so I continued reading and researching, and someone recommended someone said they have similar issues and they attempted to download this version, and this helped with them because they have the same issues where the Xbox accessories app window would just crash out. So this is I uninstalled it with the usual uninstallation method through here, and then use the Windows PowerShell that's running an administrator to install it again, and that installed it without any Microsoft Store easily. So we've got this running here. However, it's saying it is not connected. So if I run my run command, it'll just say this: there's no controller connected to it using USB. Okay, let's try the device manager. So let's uninstall the Xbox peripherals here, Xbox One controller, uninstall device, because when we reconnect it, Microsoft Windows will just reinstall it anyway. So disconnected, and now it's not in the device manager. Let's exit that, and let's reconnect it into another USB slot. And run. That's my run command. True. No controller using USB. So no matter what I do, I tried multiple USB cables, USB 2, USB 3, shorter, longer. I tried it on another computer. This is a completely different computer now, and follow the same process, and it just keeps coming back with the same message. There's no controller connected using USB. Make sure the USB cable is firmly attached, and try again. It's just useless. So I actually went through the trouble of actually installing Windows 11 24 H2. So I did see someone comment on the issue using the latest version of the Xbox accessory app, saying that although they updated to the latest Windows, unless they enable TMP 2.0, secure boot in BIOS, Windows Update wouldn't show further updates, which means they were stuck on Windows 11 21 or something, or 23. So I actually already have those features enabled, TPM2 and secure boot. However, they are still not showing further updates in the virtual machine. So So basically this user is saying that once the user managed to update to 24H2, Xbox accessories app ran just fine. So I thought I'd just download the ISO 24H2 and I installed it, and I just installed the earliest version of Xbox accessories that accepted the firmware. But this is the version of the Xbox accessories app that gave us issues with the Windows update thing. So although it's running, it's given us a new issue. Failed to sign in using gaming runtime services, so it's asking to install Xbox apps. So let's try that. So we are in a virtual machine. Let's download. Comes up here, Xbox installer. Update, whatever. So the Xbox app is installed. Let's see if we can actually get back to this Xbox accessories app. Okay, so remember we needed to bypass the Xbox Elite controller to the guest, not the host. So we've done that through, what is it, the Oracle, and that's my virtual machine settings, USB device filter, and I would click on the plus and add the Microsoft controller, and then relaunch the virtual machine. And now we can actually try to actually log in. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I don't see my device still. You see it coming up here. USB. Devices, USB. Still having the issue of can't attach USB. But yeah, it looks like running 2409 is working now with the 24.2H version of Windows. Just trying to follow this because I had this issue before where the USB will not connect. So I disconnected the controller again, rebooting, and once it reboots, I'm gonna let the operating system start, and I'm gonna exit read WSAD. My Bluetooth on my phone is disabled, so that I'll make sure that this is connected wirelessly. Now I need to run VirtualBox and then close it and then run it again. Apparently that will purge the USB devices or something like that. So run it, close it, and then run it again. Connected to the USB device, which is the controller, and then running VirtualBox, and then starting up the virtual machine. And now we log in, and supposedly we should be able to select the USB here now. Right click on it, Microsoft controller. Is it gonna disconnect? Nope, it wasn't. It hasn't got a checkbox. See, and now we've got the same shitty issue. So I think what this is saying, state captured, I think it means that my host, my actual laptop, is using the controller. It says USB device is busy with a previous request, please try again later. Apparently I need to make a filter here, so from my virtual machine we go to settings and USB, I'll remove it and make it again here, adds a new USB filter, the second one, not the first one, and then my Microsoft controller. Okay, I'm going to shut down the virtual machine that is currently running, and then if we disconnect it and reconnect it, it should capture it maybe. So now that the operating system is running, virtual one, disconnect it and reconnect it. So another port, and now maybe it bypasses my host and goes to the guest. So right click here, controller, can't attach. What about the other one? Did it attach? Nope, none of them attached. USB settings. Maybe if we go to USB 2 or USB 1. Okay, I think it's connected, and this was the perfect advice. So let me show you what I did. So first of all, make sure the extension pack for VirtualBox is installed, the same version as the VirtualBox. I don't think it matters to be USB 2. If we look at my settings, it is on USB. Oh, it is. I did set it on USB 2. So whilst the controller is connected to your laptop or your computer, make sure that the virtual machine is not running, but it currently is because I already did mine. So you know what, I'm just going to redo what I did. So say you have a clean slate, I'm going to remove it. We add a filter, which is the plus sign, whilst the controller is connected. Add it, and which one is it? Because we have 3. So basically we added a Microsoft controller, but we want to edit it. And we need to remove all these bottom ones. We just need to leave the name, vendor, and the product. These we need to delete because I think these might change. The port, I think the port changes, for example. So we just leave the name, vendor, and product ID. Yeah, and okay, okay. And now we unplug the device, launch the virtual machine. Okay, so now that it's running, we plug it in. And now let's see what happens. We'll go to the devices and it should automatically see. That's good. We've got notification. No, that's OneDrive. USB, and it automatically connected. So now that's good. So if we start the Xbox accessory app. Oh my god, we got functionality. Ignore this. We got functionality finally. Update required. No, I want to downgrade it. So basically, remember, we are running on a virtual machine. So I want to actually redo the firmware, and I want to roll it back so I could use it on my actual desktop, my laptop, and not the virtual machine, because this is currently on the virtual machine. So now that it's connected, the Xbox Accessories app is working. We can try to run that command. I can't paste it. Shared clipboard, devices, shared clipboard, bidirectional, because I want to copy and paste that command into the run. Okay, so we pasted that command. Let's go to OK. Before we start, reverting is not recommended. Revert firmware. Yes, revert firmware. Reverting. Let's see what happens. So this is blinking for a virtual machine. Windows 11 24H2. And yeah, remember the way we got the controller to connect for the virtual machine is by using the filters and then modifying the filter of the Microsoft controller to only leave the product ID, vendor ID, and name. And obviously, of course, we got more issues. There was a problem updating your controller. Try pressing and holding Xbox button for up to 10 seconds to turn off the controller. Xbox for up to 10 seconds. So I think that is off now. It says turn the controller back on. Try again. Let's click on that. Let's revert firmware. Maybe we need to disconnect it and reconnect it. Devices, USB, still there. Not responsive now. So let's try disconnect it and reconnect it. Still reconnected. Okay, let's try exit it. The most shittiest design ever. It's unbelievable. Yep, ignore that. Oh, it doesn't see the device anymore. Can't be good, can it? Probably just brick the controller now. And what do we do? The device should be still here. Yep. What about run? Same command. Yes, gone shit again. So just to be clear, I was using this version 2409. Let's install this and see if it recognizes anything. I think if this icon is flashing, that means there's not a solid connection between the cable and the laptop or the host or the guest. So if it was blinking, what I did was I right clicked on that and I unchecked it, and I checked it again, and then I think it would continue to blink. So then I powered it on, it was blinking, and then I toggled basically the switch, Microsoft controller, and then I powered down the virtual machine, and I went into the settings and I switched to USB 3 and removed this and re-added it with the same way. And we can see that the controller is being recognized in the guest in my virtual machine, so it is there. And if we disconnect it, it will disappear. So let's disconnect it. See, it's gone. Okay, maybe we have hope. So I only noticed that this was flashing only when it was running through a virtual machine. So back on my laptop itself, not the virtual machine, I uninstalled the latest version of Xbox Accessory app and reinstalled the oldest, which is, which one is 2209. That's the oldest one. So we've got this here, skip, update required. Okay, I'm gonna update it. Let's hope that it actually installs, because I don't want to brick it. I've got a holiday coming up in a few days, so if this installs, I'll be very happy. And this would maybe update the firmware to an older version, latest version for the 2209 that is actually compatible with 2209. So let's see what happens. I mean, we are much further than previously. It got stuck on around 10%, now it's on 22. Because I think all the profiles got removed from this now as well, so yeah, that's no good, is it? I want my profiles to be working. Come on, nearly there, please. I've been doing this for the past 2 days, but I'm adamant. I want to figure out this shit. Come on, 99, 100. Is it gonna say failure, catastrophic failure, or something like that? I'm gonna have to return it and go on the holiday without a controller. Well, I've got other controllers, but I'd like to bring this one. I do like this controller, even though that the software is a piece of shit. Come on. Updated. That's good, that's good, that's good. Next. I'm not seeing you. Oh. Unfortunately, this app doesn't currently support your current controller's new firmware. Okay, so back to the virtual machine we go. And before I connected to the virtual machine, we got the profiles back up and switching. That's good. So just to simplify my way of thinking, just so I remember, it's USB. While the controller is connected to the laptop, so USB 3. Filter, controller, edit, remove, and we're only going to keep these top 3. Okay, and I think now we disconnect it, run the virtual machine, so start it. Okay, so I got the latest version, which is 2505. Yep, 2505. No, 2502. And let's plug the USB in. And hopefully it will connect. Yep, good. So you know what, I'm not even going to bother trying to revert. I'm just going to leave it to the... Let's try and configure more options. No update available. So now it's the latest firmware. Recalibrate options. So yeah, basically we've got functionality. So basically it's fully working now, and I can control it as I want it. So I managed to recalibrate all left stick, right stick, and both triggers at the back. So now I'm just going to remap the back paddles, which is what I wanted to do all along. Apparently you can actually create these. So the paddles, you can assign it to Shift, Control, Alt, Windows. I didn't know that. So let's try, see what happens. Done. Wait a minute. That's not what I've done. I just done X primary button, not X key. Say Control. Done. Just ignoring it. Maybe we can't do this. But it says check mark. Done. Done. No, it's still an X button. I don't want it as an X. Click here. Unmapped. Maybe unmapped. Lower left arrow Shift. Okay, let's try that. Wait a minute. So this is unmapped. Lower left paddle, primary and Shift. What is it to? Primary key. Say Shift. So all I did was just reassign the rear paddle, this to left stick L3, and this to R3. That's all. And we got it here, so I'll go to DuckStation PSX. Actually, I don't need the second one. Where's my mouse? I'll delete this one. Delete. Delete. And this one, click on that, and we assign that to slot 3. So that will this be here. So that's written to a firmware level, I believe. And on this, I want to clear that so that it has nothing. So let's keep that as empty. So here we go. I've got a profile called read WSAD because these are all clear, and then we can assign it to slot 1. So I have slot 1 as read WSAD and slot 3 as DuckStation PSX. So I think that's done. That should be written. Let's give it a test. So if we have a look at my emulator now, my Xbox controller is connected to my Android phone, and I want it to connect it to Rewind. So let's see if it recognizes it. And it recognized wireless controller 36, button 0. What if we try another? Oh yeah, we need to switch to profile. 1, 2, 3. It is on profile 3 now. There we go, button 106, 107. So 106 is my bottom left paddle, and that is assigned to L3. So let's try pressing L3 now. L3 is 106, but if we press the paddle, 106 and button 0. And the button 0 references the paddles, whilst 106 and 107 represents the L3 and R3. So yeah, we've got it working. Rewind can be my left paddle. But he's thinking of this. He thinks it's 2 buttons. And then fast forward, where's fast forward? Toggle, rewind, turbo, fast forward. With that, there we go. On profile 3, done. Got it working. Guys, thanks for watching. I can't believe I just done that for the past 2 days, like summarized it in a 40-minute video or so. I hope that helped you guys, because that was a nightmare for me. Peace.